So I started off as an intern, and then my internship kind of came to a sudden end because of the pandemic, and the agency I was hired through kind of went bust. And so they took me on as an apprentice, and that takes me to this year where I'm still an apprentice, but now I've started my new role as of the 20th of September as a digital content designer. I have been in the past, so this is my first role in working for the council is my first job. I've worked in other places before, and in all of those situations I either was a mentee or I mentored people. Sometimes I unofficially mentor people, and I've always felt like there's a lot of benefit when you match with the right person. There's so much benefit to having a mentor or being a mentee. So when I heard there was an opportunity, I was like, yes, this is probably what I need to kind of find a solution to some of my problems in the council. And the other thing was, as much as you can rely on your colleagues and you can rely on your line manager, deep down inside, you know that the type of conversations you have with your line manager, no matter how much of a strong relationship you have, having that with somebody, a third party, it will be very different. It'll probably be more honest. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So having a third person perspective is always, I find, always a really good thing. So that's why. I think it really helped some of the mentors as well in kind of having an understanding of what kind of conversations they need to have with their mentees, which as my mentor once told me, before he started, he actually didn't know what it meant to be a mentor, so he found it really helpful. I think at the later stages of my old role, because I started my new role like last week. In the later the later stages, I think I became a bit more relaxed, and I was kind of more. Before I was a bit more timid in my, because of the way that things were explained to me and my role as it was explained. And then the later half, when my mentor was like, "You've got nothing to lose. You might as well go for it." So I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And so I was much more contributing, and even if someone wasn't asking for my opinion, I'll throw it in there anyway and just hope that it works out. So in many ways, I think I became a bit more relaxed. I stopped beating myself about little things that I thought people were judging me on, within the council. Sometimes it's better to do things in confidence, even if you're not entirely sure whether what you're doing is right, because as my mentor says, do it first and then ask for forgiveness later, because actually you might not need to, and you're beating yourself about that for no reason. And also I learned that it's okay to share things with a stranger, even if you feel like you're making things worse, because you're actually not. Sometimes having a sounding board is really helpful, and a sounding board that is very separate from your team. I was always told, right, that sometimes it's easier to share things with a stranger than it is to share with a third person. And I always see mentorship program as sharing things in many ways, sharing and getting advice from a stranger. Sometimes what you need is not tools, but someone to just tell you what, if they were in your situation, they would do. And the mentorship program, I feel like it really provides that. And what other people don't realize is it doesn't actually take up that much time. And there's always this conception that you have to be of a certain age, or that you have to be a certain age to be a mentor, you have to be a certain age of a mentee. And I don't think it's true. And I think this is that in the council you'll be able to see that it makes no difference. You can be about 50 years old and be a mentee, because it's all about learning, isn't it? Learning from each other, like getting a different perspective of the same situation. Yeah? And I think, especially when you're starting, or especially when you're looking to progress, I often find that I'm having conversations with my friends, right, or with another one of my colleagues, and I say something to them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of this." And I was like, this is why you need a mentor. It sounds like a really simple thing, but sometimes in life, what you need is not something big and complex. Sometimes in life, you just need those little things to make the biggest differences.